Welcome to my five-part series. I'm Lilla Rogers, an art agent, and I'm really excited about my newest course, which I actually created for my artists that I represent, and now I'm offering it to everyone. It's called My Arty Book Pitch, and it's about books that are nonfiction. They're not stories. They're about cool, interesting, any kind of topic, and they have images in them. And we're going to explore all of that in this five-part series, which I'm really excited to share with you. So, an arty book is for anyone who makes images. So you could be an artist, an illustrator, photographer, graphic designer, crafter, even people who doodle and draw stick figures. And I'm going to show you a few books with really stick figure art that have done extremely well because the concept was strong. Um, if you're passionate about books, you probably own a whole bunch of books or would love to. This is an income stream for you. This is another way for you to make income. And for some people, it's their whole career as a creative person. I'm going to pop up a PowerPoint for you and show you a whole bunch of cool books and different types of books to get your mind going. We're going to chat about if you feel unsure about being a writer. And I will tell you right now, I'm going to skip ahead. You write, you text, you write emails, you talk. That's words. So you can write. You don't have to write a lot of words to do an art-driven and arty book. You don't have to. So don't be scared. Don't think, oh, I have to be an author. Forget that whole construct. Just we're going to focus on being passionate about something you want to make a book about. I'm going to show you different ways you can format your book. There's lots of different ways that you can lay out the book with what I call components, checklists, journal prompts, drawing areas, to-do lists, lots of cool things. So it's really a fun way to break up how the book is comprised. In each of the videos, we're going to do some journaling, little prompts, little exercises to help you with whatever I'm teaching you. Let me tell you a little bit about me. As I said, I'm an art agent for artists and artist authors. I founded my agency in 1994, and I and my team have literally commissioned thousands of projects for my artists, including a vast array of book deals, home decor licenses, magazine illustrations, picture books, products from wine labels to chocolate packaging, just like everything. I've mentored my artists on coming up with ideas and concepts and creating their own illustrated and authored picture books, children's books, and adult books, nonfiction. What I love is helping people find their genius, their passion, their cool interests, and organizing it and structuring it calmly, easily. Don't be afraid. It'll be cool to shape it to pitch to a publisher. Let me just clarify, a pitch and a proposal, same thing, basically. You make a proposal, a number of pages that gets an editor or an agent excited about signing you for the book. That's what a pitch is, or proposal. I will use them interchangeably. I am an author myself, an author of the book I Just Like to Make Things. I'm a regular columnist for Uppercase Magazine. I have a second book on the way, and I've written lots of content for my courses. So I think of myself as an artist and agent, but turns out I'm an author. And I'm saying this to you so you understand that you write. So then if you want the label author, that's the label you can have. Before I was an agent, I was an illustrator with agents of my own in New York, Tokyo, and Paris. And so I'm first and foremost an artist. well, first and foremost, an agent, but I understand the creative mind. I've taught 30,000 students in my Make Art That Sells course platform since 2013. And it's what I love to do. I love to mentor my artists, and in my courses, I understand, I want you to hear this, I understand the creative brain, the gifts, the challenges, the neuroatypical brain, procrastination, perfectionism, and all that. And the way I teach is to help you flourish and to be inspired. I know that many of us are passion-based learners, and when you're excited, you can focus, and you can, if I break down the assignments in little bits, you can dive into those specific areas and get your work done. Okay. Why did I create the course? Because it's a very, very cool way for you to make income. You get to create your own book on whatever you want to talk about and draw and or photograph or teach. It's deeply satisfying. It can be a career. We're going to look at some people who have careers just doing arty books, and you probably know some of them. They're pretty famous, and we'll look at that. It's a long-term career you can do when you're old. You can do it anywhere, remotely. You can do it while you have a full-time job, or it can be your sole job. And I want to tell you, it's easier than you think to make a proposal. I'm going to walk you through step by step in the course and hold your hand. You're only giving a taste of the book. You don't even have to write the whole book. How about that? We'll talk about pitches in this series in video 4. So what is a nonfiction, illustrated nonfiction book? What I call an arty book. It's illustrated in some way, as I said, with any kind of visuals, art, photos, typography, graphic design, lettering. The photos can be of your crafts, of your step-by-step, all different things. It can be instructive, fact-based, a guide, or draws on personal life experience. So let's see. You might know, when you think of a book like this, you might think of a journal, an illustrated journal with prompts. That's great, but there are a million other things too. I want to get you excited about all the different things you can do. The cool part is you get to obsess whatever you want. The sky's the limit. Okay, so I want you to get out a piece of paper and pencil right now. We're going to have our first exercise. All right? Here's some random but juicy book ideas to get you thinking. As I read them off, jot a note if any of these strike you or interest, or just take notes on all of them. Just whatever you want, draw a little picture, see what pops into your head. Do they inspire? So I just came up with a bunch of topics that would be cool for books. And you can feel free to use any of these for your own book. Your collection of seashells and the places where you found them in your travels in Bali, Sanibel. How to paint mushrooms with recipes. Cool. Combining two things, mushrooms, recipes. Ways to organize every room of your house by color. It's kind of nutty. Why not? Could be cool. How to become a successful artist with interviews of other successful artists. Could be cool. A guide to palmistry. Nice. Mysticism is getting bigger and bigger in the market. How to dig your way. Here's a social emotional one for you. How to dig your way out of depression by cooking a different cupcake every day. I made that up. You can use it. I like it. Your year of living out of a minivan, visiting every national park in the US. Cool. That'd be beautiful to look at. Fun to read. Why your autism is a gift, or the pluses and minuses. Tea leaf readings for the beginner. Making art for protest. Black hairstyles and embellishments, how to have a successful food truck business, painting and gouache, astrology embroidery. That's cool. A parenting guide. You'd probably want that a little more like what's the angle, more than just a parenting guide, but what the angle is. How to learn Hebrew or Arabic or both, calligraphy, and everything else in the world. Typically, you're teaching and sharing somebody how to do something. So let us open the PowerPoint, and I'm going to show you some pictures, some photos. Okay, so here we have this. So we're going to look at some actual books. These are the ones you probably know the best are interactive journals like these. These are journals with prompts. They get you to write in them. They maybe have personal anecdotes and then have you reflect and so forth. They can be all different ways of, they can be laid out in all different ways. So we're going to look at that. They typically tend to be very image heavy with lots of art and prompts and quotes. And as I said, maybe some personal anecdotes. Many examine social emotional issues, personal growth. Let's open up and look inside some of them. You can see how they're laid out differently. Some are, so on the upper left, you have question and answer and a list on the left. On the upper right, there's a checklist. And on the bottom right, there's lots of different ways that it's laid out with quotes and step 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Okay, so a lot of guides like this are social emotional, but they don't have to be at all. Personal growth, anxiety, becoming more you, how to be happy. And usually it comes from personal experience or and personal anecdotes on how the author has figured it out. So let us look at instructional videos. Oh, I think did I miss some? No. Okay. Here are instructional videos. We all know what this is. These are actually by my artists. They're technique books. They wrote and illustrated these books on gouache and drawing 100 everyday items, Flora Waycott and Zoe Ingram. Okay, here's some other art instruction driven. 3 of them but they're different than a specific medium. They are more about, drawing is magic on the bottom right, make art every day on the bottom left. My artist, Katie Vernon, illustrated that book. Carrie Smith, who's done a ton of Wreck This Journal books, and Ray Dunn, a beautiful book on the pursuit of illustration. Okay, let's look inside some of these books, and you can see that these particular ones are very art driven, have lots of cool stuff inside to look at. We're going to look at here's social emotional. Okay, so with social emotional, they tend to be about social emotional issues. Okay, your inner critic is a big jerk, about creative anxiety. The crossroads one is about find and follow your passion. The one on the far right is the essential crises of a creative introvert. Bottom left, create your own calm. We're going to look in another video at a whole collection of Miralee Patel's beautiful books. And then today will be a great day, Guide to Happiness. So those are social emotional. And whoops. Uh, Graphic novels. Okay, so graphic novels. Let me tell you about graphic novels. They are wonderful if you love to draw and want to sink your teeth into a really big project with lots and lots of art. They do. They are time consuming, um, but they are uh, really rewarding to do as well. The book on the right, Making Comics by Linda Berry, I assigned that to my boot camp class as optional reading recently. And the murder book is a crazy premise. It's a graphic memoir of a true crime obsession, and the author dedicates it to her mother, who also loves true crime dramas, and she tries to explain to people why she likes it so much. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's look at themes. We've touched on some themes, and we'll look at a ton more in class. But what I want you to see is the range of things you can talk about. So we have a whole book on flowers, how to pet a cat, witch please, on witch stuff. Carry This Book by Abby Jacobson um, is such a cool book. It's what she imagines in people's bags, purses, satchels, and so forth. Here are 3 books that my artists worked on, and they didn't write them, but they illustrated them. But still, I want you to see how beautiful books can be. Motherhood, Nature Sketchbook, Practical Witches Spell Book. So the sky is the limit. We're barely scratching the surface today. I want to do one more thing with you, and I want to show you. We're going to do a lot of this in class, where I have a pile of vintage books that I've collected for decades. I want you to look at these, each of these, and think about how you could do this topic. It's fine for you to do a topic on palmistry or handwriting analysis or African symbols, West African symbols, flower. It's fine, but how could you do it in your style and modernize it? Art Deco ceramics. Imagine drawing all these different vases and things you've gotten at yard sales. I know you have collections, but here's the thing. You don't have to know everything. You can research. You can go to the library. You can go to a vintage bookstore, gather a bunch of books on a topic, Google, of course, travel somewhere and learn things or write about your experiences. You can talk to people, interview them. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment on your piece of paper and think about your collections and hobbies. Jot some down. I wish I could see what you're writing. And think about, could you turn any of those into a book? You don't have to decide now. That's what the class is for. But just get those wheels going. Things will come to you. Okay, in video 3, I'm going to give you a ton more ideas to help you come up with your sparkly idea for your book. And in the next video, we're going to look at the incredible Arty careers of 4 artists and their gorgeous books, including spin-offs, ranging from mostly illustrated to mostly text. So I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next video.